This week, Ria and I are scratching that motor itch as we let the rubber meet the road behind the wheel of some classic cars at Vegas Vintage Classic Car Rentals. Then, Nick Chase is showing off some of Florida's best freshwater springs, which feature crystal clear waters and make an incredible hotspot for divers. Finally, we are headed back to Sand Hollow for a great event that lets off-roaders see who can go the furthest, fastest, and the highest. It's all flying your way right now. At Your Leisure is next. Ooh, I can't wait. The little kid in me has come out big time today. Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Ria Rossi Booth. And we are in Las Vegas today.
And we are at Classic and Collectible Cars. And it's a place called Vintage Car Rentals. This is a new rental company they have, and it's part of the Haggerty Driver Program. Now, any of you who have a collector car, you know the name Haggerty. They're the people that do your insurance for your classic car. Well, now they have a way where if you've got a classic car, you can share it with the world by renting it. They have a rental program that you can engage in, and that's what they're doing here. And so, in honor of Dantana, we're going to go cruising Las Vegas style in a T-Bird. He's
totally dating himself when he says Dantana. That was before my time, mister.
Yeah, well, he was the private eye in Las Vegas, and he prowled the strip in a T-Bird like this.
So you youngsters that don't know that. Yeah, this place is phenomenal. He's got a selection of cars, and we're going to have some fun today.
Let's find out a little bit about how you can do what we're doing before we take off to explore the countryside.
We started this about a year ago. Since then, Haggerty has come to us and said that they were actually advertising to promote people with their personal vehicles. Our minimum age requirement is 25 years old in order to drive the car. So as long as you're over the age of 25, valid driver's license and insurance, you can come in and get it. You know, much like renting a car, it's just there's a little bit more to it. With them being classics, they're irreplaceable. If someone wrecks this 1955 Thunderbird, I can't just replace it. So we have to do a little bit more paperwork involved with it. If you think you're in the market for a classic car, but you've never driven a classic car, this is a perfect time to come do that. You can take the car for a day or two and go drive around and see if it's something you like. A lot of it we have noticed since starting it is from the 25 to 35 range as far as age goes, but it does vary. I have people in the 60s, 70s, 80s that have always wanted to just kind of get back into what they were when they were teenagers and driving the cars, so they'll come down and rent the cars from us.
Are you ready, Ria?
I was born ready, Chad.
Listen to it.
Purr. Purrs like a kitten.
It does. All right, folks, we are going to take off for the open road. You are going to go to our where to, and we'll join you back on our loop drive of the Red Rock Country.
Hey, At Your Leisure, Nick Chase here in the beautiful Sunshine State of Florida. This is actually my first time in the state of Florida, and if there's one thing that I've learned already, it is that this place is beautiful with an immeasurable amount of natural springs. We'll be looking at two today, both in the Ponce de Leon area. This first one is Morrison Springs, and it is what I have found out that the locals call Gin Clear. The high-clarity waters of Morrison Springs are located along the Choctawhatchee River, and even though it's currently experiencing high waters due to hurricane season, that hasn't stopped this from being one of the most relaxing places to have a day out on the water in Northwest Florida.
You can paddleboard, you can go boating, fishing, swimming, diving, kayaking, canoeing, anything you can think of on the water. It's just so enjoyable in the summer when it gets down to, in Florida, it's 100 plus degrees and the water's it's usually 65 degrees year round. And also, it's not scummy, it's all sand, and the nature that grows around the fresh water is so pretty, so it's just enticing all around.
The boardwalk surrounded by dense vegetation is perfect for seeing signs of wildlife, like den trees which have died and now create habitats for wildlife to live in or search for food. However, underneath the boardwalk is where the real magic of Morrison Springs exists. The underwater habitat is an exciting place for those brave enough to dive in deep.
The big draw is the cave systems that these rivers come up through. It's where the aquifers and the water finds its way through the limestone, and they'll spend a couple hours down there just exploring. It's crazy what's underneath the ground here, and you don't really realize it's there.
And if you were looking for something a little more family friendly, then you can come here to Vortex Spring, where they have everything from water sliding to rope swinging, as you can see behind me, and even diving and snorkeling. The multiple use area has something for every member of the family. So much so that it's easy to lose track of time and spend the whole day enjoying every bit of what it has to offer.
Vortex has slides that are just all over the place, rope swings, little things you could jump off of. Water's a little bit warmer, and it's part of a river system, so it kind of branches down. So there's a little bit more space, and kind of like going to the beach. Bring some food, bring some friends, and everyone's just hanging out. The water is as shallow as you need it to be for kids, but it's also deep for people who want to go snorkeling or free diving, like probably 60 feet at its deepest. It's geared more towards the novice divers so they can learn, and you'll see that if you're snorkeling. They're down there explaining. You can see them talking, doing hand movements and stuff,
And while Florida has some incredible beaches, take it from the locals. These springs are well worth the visit.
For me, a Floridian, when I get up in the middle of the summer and it's 100 degrees out and I want to go get wet, I'm not going to the beach, I'm going to the springs.
Next time you take a vacation, avoid the crowds and seek out the water less paddled at one of the many incredible springs in Florida. For At Your Leisure and this week's Where To, I'm Nick Chase.
Isn't it time to slow down? To enjoy the view, to get some space, and to social distance. There's no better place to be than on the trails. Visit TuillaCountyTrails.com for your next adventure.
Hey babe, I'll be right back.
You all right?
I don't know. He only does this when we come to Jorgensen's.
Coming down into the little valley and stuff, you can look over the whole thing. For me, I can just feel the stress just kind of melt away. There's so many trails to go up on and explore. The desert, and then you've got the lake, you got the mountains. It's just a little bit of everything. It's a little piece of paradise out here. Pretty much anybody that I've brought up here, they will ask, can we come back?
At Stedman's Recreation, trucks are arriving daily with back-ordered side-by-sides, ATVs, and dirt bikes. Let Stedman's Recreation help get you outside so you can explore and create memories to last a lifetime. Call or stop by Stedman's to hold your side-by-side, ATV, or dirt bike with a small deposit. Yamaha, Honda, Polaris, and Beta. Plus, Stedman's has a full service department and Honda power equipment.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You may think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
Hey, welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. I'm Scout Huntsman with TuneX, and I'm coming to you from my home because it is fall and it's time to start preparing our toys, my RV here being one of them, for a long winter's nap. So let's get a start. We'll go around back and we'll start with the freeze protection. Okay guys, so we're at the back of the RV, which on my model is where the water tank is stored, the hot water heater's back in the rear corner. Of course you want to have your RV antifreeze. I'm gonna have about 3 gallons to run through this. I have a hose here I keep in the trailer that has a fitting. I'm not going to put antifreeze into the main tank, but what I am going to do is remove the inlet off of the pump which is the check valve and the strainer. This is where I'll make the connection to the hose I have to draw the antifreeze from the bottle as we run the plumbing. Now, before I start pumping the antifreeze through the system, I am going to drain the hot water tank. Hose to my pump now. I'm gonna stick it to the bottom of the jug. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna turn the water pump on. That's gonna start the pump running to pick up the antifreeze. Come, and I'll start with the cold first. And I'm gonna run it, and you'll get that nice pink color. Now we're gonna work some air out. And then I do the same with the hot. The kitchen sink was the farthest one from the tank. So that's gonna take the bulk of the antifreeze to go all the way to the very front. Everything is now at the back of the RV, so it won't have to run near as long. I'll run the cold and the hot long enough to get plenty of antifreeze through the pipes, and we're well protected because of that. Now, I'm gonna wrap this up and just take my line off, and it's good for winter. We'll move on to some electrical. All right, so now we're back up to the front of the RV. Keep in mind, a fully charged battery will not freeze. I will keep a trickle charger on them, but I don't take them out. The only thing I do is make sure I have the lid of the box on and covered up so no water can get inside the battery box. But I also check the electrolyte level first and top it off with distilled water only before we do that process. One other thing, while topping off the battery, I spilled a little bit of water, not accidentally. I do that on purpose. Why? Because I'm gonna wipe off the top. So we want this to just be cleaned off, and with water only. Now we're here at the tires. And this is the one thing that I like to do before I put this away for the winter, is I make sure that my tires are inflated all the way to the max load. And now you can see the way that my RV sits, this is gonna get direct sun into the tires. So I like to spray a UV protectant on it. This stuff is great. That's gonna extend the life of the tire for me for many years to come, so I'm not putting tires on every other year. All right, guys, you get the general idea of what it is that I do anyway. Keep in mind, there's a lot of different ways to go about this. I think I'm even gonna invest in a cover to help protect the roof as well. Now, I'm all set for winter. It's not gonna freeze. My batteries are set. My tires will be okay. Hey, I'm Scott Huntsman with TuneX. More at your leisure in a moment.
It's time to experience something new. Like new tech, new options, and new performance upgrades. Polaris gives you the fastest engaging all-wheel drive, the only GPS that lets you plan, track, and share. Ultra bright LED lights, and exclusive work features you can't get anywhere else. Polaris, think outside.
Sick of staying home? Getting outside and exploring great open spaces is now more important than ever. Spend your summer exploring Tooele Valley, where there is so much so close. Plan your escape now at TooeleValley.org.
The Old West is still alive in Juab County. Stories of the past are hidden in the desert mountains. From relics of mining history to places of outlaw mystery, tall tales to be discovered, and buried treasure to be uncovered. Juab, the key county of Utah.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. Leisurely driving the Red Rock Highway.
Most definitely, leisurely.
Yeah. I really love the rally sport origin of the Ford Thunderbird. This is a small car. The first T-Birds were very small cars, and they didn't get big until like 1970-ish, 71.
Right.
But this was the smallest of the small, and
I love these little like
checkered
Indy
flags.
500
Yeah,
checkered flags.
yeah.
They are so cool.
It really was designed to be a sport car, and if you think about it, it hit the market the year after the Corvette. Corvette came out in '54, and they put this on the market to compete with it.
I'm telling you, Ford had it going on.
They did.
They did.
This was just a very stylish car, but you know what? Nothing complements the looks of a car than beautiful scenery, and we've seen just cool stuff today.
Phenomenal. This Red Rock it's spectacular. I mean, if you're really gonna, any time of year, you come out here in a convertible and you just like, it's just awe-inspiring.
Come out here in an air-conditioned convertible in the summer.
We still had a wonderful time. You could get this baby up to about 65.
Yeah,
it moves.
It's not a car that you want to like drive super fast,
right.
But then again, when you've got beautiful desert scenery to roll by, the Joshua trees and the little side roads that you can wander up and to like the Red Rock Springs and stuff like that, it makes for a beautiful trip.
Yeah, it's spectacular. It's just a great ride.
And this is just among one of the many beautiful rides you can do around Las Vegas. You know, it's not all just casinos. There's a long laundry list of great places you can take on all kinds of rides. Doesn't matter if you're on a bike or a car or a convertible, old or new.
The top three really are Red Rock. You can go out to Red Rock, there's a scenic loop out there. You spend about an hour going, cruising around there. You can pull off on the side of the road, take some great pictures, things like that. That's a good spot. Hoover Dam is another good one where people go out there, they'll go do the tour, drive on the dam, and then come back, and that usually takes a couple hours. Or they go out to Lake Mead and there's a scenic drive out to Lake Mead. With these classics, we do have a limitation as far as mileage goes, which is 100 miles per day. And we try to send everybody to those places because they can go out there, they can go cruise around, have fun, come back, cruise up and down the strip a couple times, and that's well within the mileage of it all. And we get a lot of people who get married in the cars, take them out for the weekend, just kind of cruise up and down the Las Vegas Strip or downtown. I have people go out to Red Rock, the Hoover Dam, Mount Charleston. The reason why Vegas is such a great place for classic cars is because of the weather. It's dry, it doesn't snow here. It can be tough on the cars because it does get hot. With a lot of our rental cars, we have to go through them and get them prepped for the heat here. But the reason why the desert is such a good place is because it doesn't eat these cars alive. The chrome stays good on them, the paint stays good on them. Rust is very minimal out here. That's why they're so good to purchase or to rent a car here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
There you go.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Destiny.
Oh, we will. It smells delicious.
Yummy.
You know, of all the things you do on a ride, one of them has got to be you got to stop and eat. And if you're going to do that, you should do car hop service. That's the way I see it.
Absolutely. We're going to have a little chili dog and a little corn dog, and we'll be on our way.
And while we're on our way, here's something for you along the way. Cheers.
A nice leisurely trail ride is a wonderful way to enjoy your side-by-side and see the beautiful sights of Utah. But it's hard to deny the heart-racing excitement of hitting the gas and opening up the throttle. These are two sides of the same coin, and the best place to experience them both in one weekend is at UTV Takeover.
They make this event really fun because they have a lot of things that customers and just enthusiasts can do. Like they have the group rides that people take, they have the drag races, which is great, the organized drag races, then the grudge drag races. They have Al Macbeth doing his big jumps. So it's a great family fun event for virtually anybody that loves off-road stuff.
All these events at the UTV Takeover are open to anyone who registers and make for a great opportunity to push your machine to the limits and see what it's really capable of, whether that be in the form of trails or racing.
You know, they got a nice light setup and groom track, and they have different classes. So they have a stock class, a mod class, which would be like a big turbo class, and then they have an unlimited class, which would be like almost like anything goes. The grudge racing is you just pick a guy and you just go down the track together. So, which is really a lot of fun too.
So he beat me the first race, we raced each other, but I won one more race than him. so I finished ahead of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And for those who really want to leap into the thrills, UTV Takeover's Huckfest launches right into them.
Huckfest is amazing. I remember it was little and it's grown so much. It used to be just anybody jumping, and now we have Al Macbeth jumping here and Ruslan, and yeah, it's a good show.
We're going to take part in the
participant Huckfest.
Yeah, it'll be
I'm
fun.
excited.
It should be fun. Hopefully everything goes well and it's a crowd pleaser.
If your UTV isn't quite up to the challenge, don't fret. The Takeover is abundant with experts who can show you the gear you need to take it to the next level.
If you're into UTVs, and which everybody here is, and you want to modify your car in any way, there's basically anything goes here. ECU tuning, exhaust, intakes, clutch kits. But if you want whip flags, there's customers who do whip flags. There's customers there's vendors that sell wheels. Basically anything you want to have done to your UTV, you can have it done here.
The most important takeaway everyone gets from the Takeover isn't the fun rides or the new toys, but the friends they've made while having a blast.
We've met so many people that every year we get together. I mean, we would not have met those people if it wasn't for these events.
I've made so many friends just from coming to UTV Takeover. So yeah, the people, definitely.
If you've missed Utah's Takeover, but still want to go, well, you're in luck. The event takes over several different states throughout the year, including Oregon, Oklahoma, and Virginia. While 2020 may be wrapping up, guess what? Next year is right around the corner, and it promises more spectacular adventures. Just keep your eyes on utvtakeover.com for the calendar of next season's events, and we hope you'll be able to stop by the next Takeover somewhere along the way. For At Your Leisure, I'm Joe Davis.
Dear Diary, we went camping for our vacation on Tusher Lake. We did so many fun things. I learned something on this trip. Camping on Tusher Lake is way more fun than any old mouse in an amusement park.
Hey honey, have you seen this tire? Do you think we'll make it?
Not on that thing.
Don't let bad tires ruin your trip. With service stations at every location along I-15, we can get you back on the road with fast, friendly, professional service. Eagles Landing has everything you need along the way. Even the things you didn't know you'd need. Get ready for the road at Eagles Landing.
Reason number 9 to spend the night in Duchesne County. It's the Centennial Event Center in Duchesne City, the center of business and entertainment in the county. The facility features rodeos, the county fair, and even motorsports year-round. Then grab a world-class burger at Cowan's Cafe before finally unwinding in your own luxurious townhome at Winterton Suites. Discover all the reasons to spend the night in Duchesne County at uintabasin.org.
Make Marysville your hub for adventure. Nestled in the Tusher Mountains with direct access to the Bayou Trail. Explore history from Miners Park to Butch Cassidy's cabin, while blazing trails from mountain peaks to the shores of Otter Creek.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We are at the Red Rock Loop out here in Las Vegas area, and we are just in a rock climbing mecca, but we're not using this car to do that.
No. Ria
That's a no-no.
Ria and I were driving along here, and she'd never been in one of these before, nor paid too much attention to them other than seeing Dan Tana on TV, or Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. used to drive one in. And I'm even dating myself more.
That's okay, honey.
77 Sunset Strip, I said it.
That's
oh
a
no.
good show.
Anyway, So we decided we needed to do a product review on this thing because it's got so many features you don't find in cars today, even though none of them are gizmo gadgets or electronic. It's a very basic car.
Yeah,
But what is it you like about it, Ria?
Okay, my favorite thing about the car as a female is I love this tire skirt, which I think is just so sweet how it covers the tires. And I don't know why, because the tires are really cool looking. Look at those rims. Those are beauties. I just love them. And I really, really like this part of the hood. I think it's really sexy. I love it.
So I noticed little details like the cut of the doors, okay? Here's the door post here. Most cars you have a wing to a door and down. But if you look, they've actually cut this door to fit. And from the back side, you can see that they've cut it out to fit into the dash, which actually wraps around.
Yeah.
So it's just little details like that. This door handle, you're only going to find it on a Thunderbird. They didn't make it like a standard one for all Ford cars. It's for this car alone.
Isn't that something? And these little locks are so cute. They're just everything. It's something that you just don't see. You really feel like you're back to the future or back in time.
The last thing I want to talk about is the slope of the car body against the fenders. It's really a very flat-bodied car.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could talk for hours, but we're not gonna, because somebody wants to win their weekly prize. This week's contest winner was submitted to us on Facebook by Dennis and Jennifer Moore. Congratulations. It looks like you're the lucky winners of a half-day UTV rental from the folks at Epic Rentals. Epic Rentals is the best place to rent anything with wheels. For more information, visit epicrentalsut.com. And it looks like they're also going to win a bonus $100 gas and gift card from the folks at Eagles Landing. Be sure to call us on Monday at 801-947-8888 to claim your prizes. Now, let's take a look at our Trail of the Week. This week's Trail of the Week is the Dowd Mountain Trail, which is located in Daggett County, approximately 49 miles north of Vernal. To get more information on this or any of the other trails that have been completed on the Trail 360 project, visit outsiders.zone. Now, let's take a look at next week's show. Next week, Kevin and Gina are showing us that fall is the perfect time to get out on the Great Salt Lake as they take their whole family out for a fun day of sailing. Then, we're following our friends from Eagles Landing as they treat the managers of their tire shops to an exciting day of pheasant hunting. Finally, Reese Stein is showing off all the wildlife he can find at 11,000 feet. Next week's show looks great, but it's no better looking than the car we've been blessed to drive around in today.
It is the sweetest looking vehicle on the road today.
Yep. So if you want to actually rent this car, go to the Haggerty Driver program and get signed up with them, and then go find Vintage Vegas Rentals, vintagevegasrentals.com, and that's where you can go to rent these cars.
And they are the nicest people to work with. They are so cool. And I just love how he said, like, they have kids from like 20, you have to be 25 or older to rent it.
Right.
But he said they have all ages, because I was thinking it was just us little boomers, you know? He's like, no, all kinds of folks do it.
All right. You got certified, right?
I did get certified.
Okay. You got his driver's license?
I am certifiable.
No, certifiably.
Yes,
Certifiably.
I'm all the above.
All right, there you go.
Oh, I get to drive.
Just remember, there's adventure around every bend.
You just got to get out there and create your own adventure.
At the speed limit.
For sure.
At your leisure. Goodbye.